This is how you don't play. This is how you don't play.
Dark Sea Deathful.
This is how you don't play.
Metal Gear Solid 2.
This is how you don't play. This is how you don't play. This is how you don't play.
Hello, everyone. Phil here, and welcome. How's everyone doing today? Welcome to something that has been years and years in the making. Welcome to something that I have been requested to do for a very, very, very long time, and I'm finally getting around to it. And quite frankly, something that I'm doing at great personal risk, all right? Because I've gotten multiple threats of illegal actions towards me and my business as a result of doing this today. Quite frankly, as a result of the amount of nonsense, all right, that is happening, this might be the first and last time I do anything like this, all right? Today, we are reacting to two things at once, all right, here on DSPGaming. The first thing that I'm reacting to is essentially my original Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty HD playthrough from over 10 years ago. Many, many years ago, there was an HD collection that was released for the PlayStation 3, and this collection had Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3 in it. At the time, I had never actually played a Metal Gear Solid game before, with one exception, when Metal Gear Solid 1 was a brand new release that had come out in the 90s for PlayStation 1. I actually got it for Christmas. I remember opening it on Christmas morning. I was like, oh, I'm excited. And I popped it in. I started playing it, and I was like, what the fuck is this? I hated it. I didn't like stealth gameplay. I thought it was an action-based game, and it definitely isn't, right? It's so different from what I was expecting. I played it for about 3 hours. I hated it, and I literally never booted it ever again. And until this HD collection came out about roughly 10 years ago, that was the extent of my experience with the Metal Gear Solid franchise, okay? So, when people back then said, Phil, you've got to play the Metal Gear Solid HD collection. You've got to do it. Everyone wants you to do it. You got to jump on this bandwagon of everyone loving Metal Gear Solid, yada, yada, yada. I said, all right, I'll give in to what my fans want. I didn't know much about it. I know I played the first game and hated it. Now, I need to give you guys a little bit of frame of reference. Back then, all right, I basically was not the kind of content creator that I am today. Back then, you weren't even called content creators. Back then, you were just a YouTuber, all right? Here was what Dark Side Phil was known for 10 years ago, all right? Raging, blaming everything on the game, insulting game developers, rushing through a game, and pumping out the fastest playthrough possible for maximum viewership on YouTube. I was the guy known for going to the store, buying the game at release day, because games weren't digital releases a decade ago. You had to get the physical copies, okay? Rushing home, doing an unboxing video, getting that on the internet, and immediately starting to play, getting a good 5 to 10 hours of gameplay out within the first 1 to 2 days, and pumping that out on the internet. And then trying to beat that game in the shortest amount of time to get a full playthrough out on the internet. That's what I was known for. That was my shtick. That was my running joke. That's what I was popular for back in the day. I didn't even direct capture. I didn't live stream. It was just a camera pointed at my TV, which is why you're going to notice today, in this footage that we're going through here, it's very low quality. It's going to be terrible light balance. The audio sounds washed out and terrible, like I'm in a cave. It's because I was filming with a camera at the time, okay? Very different from who I am today as a content creator, all right? Now, what that meant essentially was I wanted to beat games as quick as possible. I didn't take time to learn about the nuances of the control schemes. I just tried to blow through as fast as I could, and sometimes that meant smashing my head against a wall until the wall caved down, as opposed to figuring out a way to just walk around the wall. That's how I was, all right? Shout out to Master Aqua, who gifted 5 memberships to the channel. Thank you so much for that, Master Aqua. I really appreciate the channel support. So, I'm not saying that today in 2022, I don't do some of those things as well. Of course I do, right? I still rage. I still do certain things, but not to the extent that I used to. I used to make it a purposeful thing. I would single out a game developer or a notable person who worked on a game, and I would kind of harass them and make jokes and insult them. You know, that was my shtick. And now I started playing the video by accident. That was my shtick. Okay? Now, admittedly, people didn't like that. A lot of people out there hated on me for the fact that I did that kind of content. They wanted to see full in-depth playthroughs that were respectful of the content and the game developer. All right? I didn't do that. Admittedly, I totally didn't do that back then. Right? All the content that I had put out up until the point that I did this very playthrough we're about to watch, okay? Never was there really an issue. Every once in a while, there were some people who were upset. But for the most part, people got the joke. It's Phil. That's Phil's character that he plays in videos. That's why we watch him, right? For some reason, when I played Metal Gear Solid 2 HD, oh my God, it was like the internet exploded against me. Totally. Oh my God, how dare he play the game so poorly, but then blame the game for his shortcomings. How dare he insult Hideo Kojima. For clarification purposes, I want to say this up front. I like Hideo Kojima. I think he's an interesting person, and I like him as a game developer and a creator. After I played this, I played Metal Gear Solid 3 HD. Then I played Metal Gear Solid 4, Metal Gear Solid 5 when it was a new release. I played Death Stranding, and I played PT, the playable teaser that was supposed to be Silent Hills. All right, I played it all, and I absolutely enjoyed it. I like his content. I'm critical of it. For example, I think Death Stranding is one of the best stories ever in a video game. It's also some of the worst gameplay ever. It's boring as shit. So I'm going to be honest when I play this stuff, okay? But I like the guy. In fact, I like reading his social media posts about things he's up to. He watches movies. He's kind of a movie buff like I used to be when I was younger. And I like that. He's an interesting guy. I don't hate on the guy whatsoever. But in this playthrough, oh my God. Anytime that I played a Metal Gear Solid game back in the day, it was like, oh, he's a piece of shit and everything, overhyped. And I would say all that nasty, insulting stuff on purpose to get a rise out of my audience. Well, my core audience got it, but people who were like super fans didn't. And this spurned a giant movement against me on the internet. Phil's a terrible content creator, a terrible person. He doesn't deserve the notoriety he has. He doesn't deserve any popularity because this is how he treats games and game developers, okay? All right. Now, excuse me. What we're about to watch is gameplay from my original playthrough of Metal Gear Solid 2 HD from 10 years ago. We're also going to see it highly edited, and we're going to see comments superimposed over it from my own video comments that used to be, on my videos back then. And essentially what this does is it creates a different kind of a product highlighting only my worst moments of the playthrough. All right? It's my fails, my fuck-ups, me saying dumb shit that's very embarrassing, which I guarantee we're going to cringe at today as we watch this. It's me essentially looking at this and saying, shit, this is how I was back then, how embarrassing, but let's laugh at it together and acknowledge that things are better now, right? And I'm totally okay with doing that. I've done this recently with many other things. Looking at my past saying, man, I was kind of bad back then, but thank God that things have changed for the better, right? This video, the original one ever, was called This Is How You Don't Play, Metal Gear Solid 2, and it was made by an individual called Evil AJ on the internet, who over the past decade has literally had a grudge against me. He's very upset with me because apparently at some point way back in the day, I banned him from commenting on my videos. I did a whole segment about him on my podcast yesterday to explain the situation. But essentially, this guy hates me. And that's why he made this in an attempt to try to, defame me on the internet, and it worked. This particular video spawned hundreds of people who ran with that idea, and moving forward, they took almost every video game playthrough I ever did and made this kind of a negative montage about it. Some are kind of more matter-of-fact, some are mean-spirited and more personal, but you get the idea. This is the video that launched a million more negative videos about me, okay? So it's going to be fascinating to go through this video and see what's in it. And, first time I'm ever fully reacting to it. I've never actually watched this in its entirety at all. It's going to be me giving you my honest reactions to everything in here and adding supplemental information, okay? Now, I just have to say something for full disclosure. Number one, because I'm doing it in this format, it is 100% protected under fair use law. I'm reacting not only to my own gameplay and comments on my own videos, But yes, it's someone who put those together, but I'm reacting to it in this manner, adding commentary, criticism, supplemental information. This is now my own transformative work. This is DSP reacts to This Is How You Don't Play Metal Gear Solid 2. There is no leg legally to stand on for anyone to try to say anything negative about this video, but they will. I've already gotten tons of threats overnight saying, oh, we're going to hit you with false strikes and takedown attempts. I can't stop that stuff from happening, but I know legally I'm in the right doing this, okay? Also, the person who made it, Evil AJ, gave me permission to do this months ago, which is why I planned the event. So there you have it. That's all I'm going to say about it. I'm not going to harp on this through the whole video. I have permission to do it, and it's legally protected. So if anything negative happens, someone broke the law. It's that simple, okay? All right. So now, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let us jump into This Is How You Don't Play Metal Gear Solid 2. Now, thank you already. I'm seeing engagement. I'm seeing all kinds of stuff. We are 100 likes on the stream. Thank you so much for that. Thank you for the viewership. Over 700 viewers in climbing, which is really freaking awesome. I really appreciate that. Like I said, Master Aqua, gifted 5 memberships to the channel. Sadly, I can't see who got them, but congratulations to the 5 people who got those memberships. I will be pausing to do shout-outs for contributions and the like, and doing shout-outs during the course of this react, just so you guys know. So be ready for that. And yes, if, contributions come in, I will do my best to shout them out. Now, I think we're good, right? I think we're good to go. Okay. All right. Without further ado, let's begin. Wait till you hear how different I sound. Here we go.
January 18th, 2012, and
here you go.
What a day.
January 18th, 2012. There's the date. Almost, over 10 years ago. Almost 11 years ago.
Today, there is a worldwide online protest against SOPA and PIPA, 2 bills being discussed in the U.S. government and possibly going to be passed, which will potentially censor the internet out as if it had been actually censored by the U.S. government, as a preview of what may happen if these bills pass. And what a timely manner that I've decided to with some of the long cutscenes that happen. So, all right.
To put this into perspective, okay? So first of all, why do I sound so different? There's 2 major reasons. Number one, again, this is a camera pointed at television. This is not me doing direct capture like I do today. You're hearing a giant echo, right? That's because I used to have a big open living room that I would record my playthroughs in, and it echoed like crazy. So it almost sounded like I'm in a cave, right? But also you might say, well, man, your voice sounded way more high-pitched back then, because it was. In a decade of me doing this kind of content creation and me talking constantly, yeah, I've changed. My throat has changed, all this stuff. I can't even sing anymore. Like, I used to be able to sing high-pitched and stuff. I can't even do that anymore, But that's it. You get older, your body changes, things change. That's what happens. So, in regards to SOPA and PIPA, this actually was one of the many times over the years, all right, where the U.S. government attempted to try to do something to censor the internet. If I remember, it was Stop Online Piracy Act, SOPA. And essentially what they were saying was, oh, unless you have outright rights to something, you can't even link to it. You can't reference it on the internet. So if that act had passed, there'd be no internet memes. There'd be no react videos. There'd be no Let's Plays. All of it would have went away overnight if the bill passed. So there was massive online protests against it. I actually was one of the people who made a whole video about it, a whole vlog. The video went viral. And the video got hundreds of thousands of views. All right? Back when I used to have that kind of clout. Now, if I made a video about it, it would probably get 1,000 views. Seriously, that's how times change. Back then, I was known as a prominent guy on YouTube who could go viral for stuff like that. Today, so many people have crapped on me in the last decade, spawning from videos like this. I don't get attention anymore for that kind of stuff, which sucks, but I guess that's life, right? But anyway, that's what I was talking about there. And it's funny because you might say, well, why was Phil doing that in a gameplay? This is supposed to be him playing Metal Gear Solid 2 HD. Why was he talking about that in the intro to the game? Back then, okay, I didn't have an avenue to talk to you guys about stuff like that much. I didn't have a podcast every day. I didn't do interactive streams. These videos were how I communicated with my audience. So I was like, let me interject that into the beginning of the playthrough. And people actually yelled at me for that. Why are you talking about Sopa and Pippa? Supposed to be playing Metal Gear Solid. What? Just like this, see? He's still talking. Get to the goddamn... That's literally the reaction I got from everyone. Like, fine. Anyway, 2 quick shout-outs here. Casimir tipped me $4, said, I want us to be friends. I wish we'd go to Five Guys after work and drink. Oh, I'm not even reading the rest of it. Thanks for the tip. That's enough of that nonsense. And shout out to Wolf-like. Wolf-like did a super chat. He says, hey, Phil, do you still watch movies? If so, what's your best movie that you've seen lately? Not often. I still watch them every once in a while, but not often. I couldn't even tell you the last movie I saw. Sorry. I really don't even remember. But thank you, Wolf-like, for the super chat. Okay. Excuse me. All right, guys. Let's actually get into it.
So, without further ado, let's jump in here to Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty, which apparently takes place between 2007 and 2009. And, let's see. Let's jump in. Let's check it out. Let's see how they've done with this HD remake. This new game.
Again, look how bad the visuals are, right? This is very blurry because it was on the camera. 720p camera, by the way. Well, no, at this point, I was supposedly using a 1080p camera, but it really didn't look very good.
Radar Type 2, I guess.
I picked Radar Type 2, didn't even know what it meant.
Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty, sponsored by Marlboro. Smoke and take a choke. Oh, look at this, got some Predator shit going on.
I still did that today. And someone jumps. Look at him. He's playing with a gun. Oh, it's
Making
Ocelot,
amazing
right?
sounds. Gee, you think Hideo Kojima got enough billing? Yeah, I think maybe they should say his name a couple more times. Kojima. Kojima. Sons of Kojima.
Now, come on, you gotta admit that's true. You gotta admit that he puts his name into the credits a million times, right? Come on. All right, here we go. Real gameplay. Whoa. I'm gonna fail immediately. Yup. I have a feeling this playthrough will be very painful. That was pretty bad. That was a pretty bad first encounter.
Shit. What is that? Raven.
Shadow. Isn't this just a trick? It looks like a guy with a big gun. You go around the corner. It's totally not. It's a different Shadow. This movie did not play Metal Gear Solid 1. He does not recognize Vulcan Raven. As I said, Metal Gear Solid 1, I played 3 hours of it. I played it when I was a teenager in the 1990s. And I don't remember anything of it because I didn't like it. So how the hell would I remember Vulcan Raven? Keep in mind, this is 2012. How would I have remembered something from like 1997 or whenever the hell Metal Gear Solid 1 came out that I only saw once, didn't like, and did I even get to Vulcan Raven in the first few hours of Metal Gear Solid 1? I was still in like the intro area. I don't even know if I saw the character. Immediately fucked up. That's great. Knocked right on my ass. Look, I have no concept of how to do this, as you can see. Oh my god. I guess I didn't do the tutorial, did I? No, I didn't do the tutorial, so I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I don't know how to grab or knock out or anything, right? I'm just like mashing buttons. Yeah.
How do you use rations?
How hard can it be to push every button on your controller once? What an amazing question. I'm an idiot. Back then, okay, I really have to preface this. Back then, okay, I wasn't smart. I wasn't like, oh, I actively am going to play this video game. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually try to learn everything. To me, it was like, I'm the Joe Nobody guy. I'm supposed to be like an average player. I was going to jump in and not learn shit and just try to get through the game. That was my mentality back then. And everyone knew it. You could watch me play game. Shit, I played God of War 3. I didn't even do an upgrade. I literally beat the whole game without upgrading anything. Not one. That's how I played games. I was just being stupid, right? But obviously I didn't do the tutorial. So I didn't know how to play the game because I'm an idiot. Like, I openly admit it now. Like, if you're going to do a playthrough, why the fuck wouldn't you try to learn how to play the game? Why do you want to suffer through it like an idiot? Because that was my shtick back then. But there you go.
I don't get it.
By the way, to this day, I probably still don't know how to use rations.
I have rations.
I still didn't learn.
Use them.
Oh my god, look how many guys I got at once. This is not very good. This is very bad. This is not what you're supposed to do. So you suck at this game. Yeah, I would say. I'm supposed to fight 4 dudes at once. Look at this. I'm doing like combos. I did like Street Fighter. I'm trying to do, or it's like Final Fight. I'm trying to hit them all at once.
I didn't mean to do that. So I gotta learn the controls and shit.
Wow.
Snake! Snake!
An anonymous tipper, just tipped me $4.20, says, I see you're saying a lot of your earlier YouTube persona about raging and failing games was a shtick. To me, it comes across as sometimes you were genuinely raging, but you're also self-aware of it at times, so you ham up your performance. Exactly right. Here's the thing. A lot of the stuff in fighting games was legit, because back in the day, I had a lot of pent-up anger about fighting games in general. So if you watch me play Street Fighter 4 and there's lag and shit, yeah, I'm going crazy because I'm pissed that the games are so bad online. But in general, when I was playing games like this, I didn't give a shit about, I seriously, and I mean it, I didn't care about Metal Gear Solid. I had no cares in the world about this. I was like, whatever, fuck it, flub through it. I don't care about the audience who likes this game. I didn't even know that Metal Gear Solid was as popular as it was because I didn't know they had a fan base like this that were going to go crazy when I played it like this. So to me, I was like, fuck it. I just rushed through it, fuck around, insult everyone, you know. And then it blew up in my face, and I didn't know that that would happen. But you're right. I would purposely ham shit up to try to be entertaining for the audience. Keep in mind, no live streams, right? So I have to try to fill all the dead air of commentary. Like, I'm trying to comment constantly on what's going on in the game and fill dead air to entertain my audience. Honestly, this style with no live audience, I feel is more challenging. Really. Because right now, I can react to what you guys are saying in the chat. We can talk. Can't do that when you're just sitting there by yourself playing the game. You gotta I gotta entertain constantly. So give them a reason to fucking, be entertained. Here you go. I'm an idiot, right? Snow Carl to the $1.50 says, I like your old gameplay. I agree. Most of what you say during this playthrough. I agree with most of what you said during the playthrough. Do you ever feel the attraction of putting out this kind of enthusiastic, genuine content again? So your content feels way less authentic. All right. I'm not even going to react because that's obviously really bad troll bait. That's really, really bad troll bait. Okay, let's continue. I love that. Phil is doing it wrong. You're not supposed to do that.
You should go grab these rations. I don't understand how to eat. How do I eat the rations? Weapon changes. Oh, should we get
Here's me, still not understanding a basic thing about the game at all.
I don't know how to use
See?
my rations. I have no idea.
He pressed every button but L2. In reality, I probably did press it, but I probably mashed it like an idiot. There's something I should clarify. So I'm a fighting game player, and in fighting games, all right, in order to ensure that your move comes out, a lot of the times what you do is a technique, it's called the double tap. So for example, a normal game, you press a button, I want to punch someone. Punch. You're done. When I play a fighting game, I'll say, I want to punch someone. Punch, punch. I'll hit it twice on purpose to ensure that the input comes out. I was very stuck in that mindset for a very long time. And back then, around this time period, so like 2008, like 2012, I was still kind of doing that. In every effing game I played, I was double tapping everything. It very well could be that when you double tap, that it would open and close the inventory, or you know what I mean? And I just was so dumb, double tapping like an asshole, that I didn't realize that I was completely fucking myself over. It's idiotic. Not every game is played like that. But again, for the whole generation of PS2 through like 2008, 2009, I wasn't playing console games. I was only playing fighting games. So everything I did was tap, 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 tap.
I don't want to throw him. This is bullshit.
Just because your shit don't mean it's bullshit. That's a good one. Why did that only had 2 upvotes? Just because your shit doesn't mean it's bullshit. I like that one.
What?
That's absolutely
Oh,
great.
come on. You know what? This is fucking mad annoying. I can tell the whole game's gonna be like this too.
All right.
Who alerted? No one alerted shit. Whatever.
No shit. Now that's common sense. Phil does not know how to play Metal Gear. Correct. That's an absolutely correct statement. Phil is so bad at Metal Gear, I don't think he knows that aim is gun in the first person.
dead.
No, I didn't know. I didn't know shit. I didn't pay any attention. Look, I think it's a melee game. I'm playing it like Final Fight. My 12-year-old brother could play better. That's probably correct. Your 12-year-old brother probably understands the basic mechanics and is doing way better.
Oh, because
Yeah.
I threw him by accident because the controls are fucking weird. I knew this too. I already knew this.
This is what I was afraid of. Phil not being able to learn the controls in a good amount of time and playing the game.
Weird and like they'll get
Yep,
the wrong
and that's
shit.
what that was. Again, that was my shtick back then. It was, if it was a game where I could easily jump in and learn everything, I would kiss the game's butt and say it was great. If it was a game that had some nuance or complexity to it, or for example, a game where you had to learn something special for the game that was unique to that game. Let's be honest, the menu system and everything in Metal Gear series, the Metal Gear Solid series, is different from other games. What other game has a menu system like that and stuff? None really I can think of, right? So I wouldn't learn it. I would just, oh, fuck it, just insult it, blame it. It's not me, it's the game. That was my shtick. And yes, absolutely. Oh, here you go. Once again, a huge amount of excuses to the fact that he's not good at any game. Oh, well, no surprise. Yes, correct. It was flagged as spam, and I guess someone else flagged it as spam. Not me, because I didn't flag comments as spam back then.
Son of a bitch. Well, try it again. Getting around. Didn't want to throw him. I wanted to break his fucking neck.
So because I threw him, I guess it failed and alerted everyone.
This guy's coming.
Oh, I see the map. See the map in the upper right? So the guys are on the corner there.
What?
Phil's playing the game way too much of a run and gun mentality. Be patient, Phil. I wouldn't even say run and gun. It's more beat 'em up. I played it like a beat 'em up, right? I seriously thought that this was like a 3D combat game and not stealth. Again, I didn't understand stealth. I never played stealth games. So to me, this was like my first exposure to, oh, you're not supposed to actually really engage if you can avoid and stuff. A bracket? I don't know. I think this person typed their name wrong. Did $1.50 Tim says, I laughed hard when you roasted Otakon and his sister in the game. I don't remember that. I'm sure we're getting to it. I don't specifically remember that, though. But I'm sure we'll get to it. Okay. Let's continue. Oh, really? Phil Rona says a few years ago, when Google Plus was there, you could actually, like, flag things by not recording a comment. It would be flagged as spam. That's stupid. The whole Google Plus integration is such a fucking stupid thing.
I was on the ground and I wanted to stay on the ground and I accidentally got up, let him see me, and then I died.
I literally admit, I said, it's the controls. So I blame the controls. Then I say, I was on the ground, I wanted to stay on the ground, but then I accidentally got up and I died. So literally I say, I accidentally got up and I died, but then I say, oh, it was the controls' fault. Right.
Yeah, I have such little life yet I found rations. How do I use them?
It's funny how the game already
doesn't
told him how to
explain
use
how to use
rations.
items.
Technically, he was too busy thinking of jokes. He wasn't paying attention. Correct. That was me back then. Now, I wasn't paying attention to shit. It was all about the jokes and the commentary. That's what people came to my videos for. They weren't coming for good gameplay.
What do I do? How do I use this?
Play games for a living. Don't try every button.
I don't know how to use rations. This sucks ass.
Now, hold on. I got a question for everyone. I'm trying to remember, as we're going through this. To use rations, L2 would open your inventory, right? Now, then I think you had to hold the button down, and then did you go through the inventory with thumbstick while you were holding it? Then you had to stop on the item you wanted, release, and then press the button? Or was it you hold, you scroll to it, and then you press X? Is that how it was? Because I'm trying to remember. I think it wasn't like a simple, if he just tapped L2, he would eat the rations. It was more like you had to hold the button, go through, manually select, and then do it, right? And that's probably, I'm serious, for me, that was like rocket science back then. It's like, I have to do what? There's an inventory button I have to hold, scroll through, fine, then press the button. You expect me to do that? That's that's how I was back then. Okay. How dare you make me do multiple steps? This doesn't suck ass. You suck ass. Read the manual next time. It explains how to use the items. There was no manual. This was the HD edition. There was no manual. Or physical manual, I guess I should say.
How do I use them? I want to use them right now.
Look at my life.
How the fuck do I use rations?
Oh my god. I think it was every button except for L2. Yeah. Again, it's like a similar comment to before. Right.
I'm super confused. I'm gonna look in the instruction book and
So
see
you're hearing I don't know how to do such and such. Read the fucking menu. You know what's weird? Why did the comments say 1 year ago? This playthrough was done on January 2020. Oh, did this video not come out till 2013? I didn't realize that. So the original This Is How You Don't Play didn't come out until 2013, I guess. Because it says 1 year ago. Okay. Interesting. I always said it was 2013 when I noticed like public opinion started to turn against me. And then when I moved out here in 2014 was when, for some reason, 2014, 2015, like, that's when the whole internet hated me. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? I was like, so ridiculous that I saw such a backlash against me, but I didn't even really understand. But it was really stuff like this that was going viral that I think was spurning that negativity towards me. So.
Lunch, but I can't figure out how to do it. Let's see.
Page 1 of the instruction book. There is none. I don't have it. This was the HD digital edition. There's no physical instruction book with it. To my knowledge, I don't think there was.
There's nothing whatsoever in the instruction booklet explaining how to do it.
Oh, wait, no. Did you hear me? Apparently, I am reading it. So apparently there was a physical instruction booklet. Hold on a second. I wonder if I have this game. Nope. Darn. Oh, shit. Guess what just happened? I just stepped on my video capture device, which freezes it, and now I have to restart fucking OBS to get it to work again. This is why I need a new... I told you guys I need a new setup. I need a new PC and everything. I literally stepped on the USB cable, and you heard the sound say, doo-doo-doo. So now I disconnected it, it won't capture. I have to restart OBS to get it to work again. Anyway, no, I was trying to remember, do I physically have this collection? I might, but I just looked briefly and I didn't see it. Because if I had it, I actually wanted to look at the instruction booklet and see if it was listed and how prominent it was listed. But I just looked briefly. Actually, literally later today, we are actually going to clean out the rest of my office and see what games I have over there. I actually have a few different connections or collections, but no, I don't have this one. All right, so here's the deal. This sucks. I have to turn off OBS and turn it on again to proceed, because right now if I hit play, it will not move. It's frozen. So that stinks, but it is what it is. Give me a second. If you're watching this on demand on YouTube, this was the end of part 1. We now have to do a part 2. If you're watching this on stream, just stick around. The stream won't even go down. It's just going to buffer and then come right back. So don't go away. It's going to come right back. All right, guys. Sorry. Stupid. I stepped right on the cable. I'll be right back. Okay.